In this video, we are going to be building the unit circle, but specifically taking a closer look at the angles of the unit circle. Okay, so generating all the angles in the unit circle is really just graphing radians. Can you graph radians, right? And so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to graph divisions of pi over 2. And if you've seen the other video of angles and their measure, you know how to graph radians now. Now, if I wanted to create divisions of pi over 2, I know that I need to have a total of double the denominator. In this case, double of 2 would be 4. I need a total of 4 sections. So I already divided my unit circle into 4 sections. 1, 2, 3, 4 sections. And now that I have my 4 sections, I know that each section is pi over 2. So if I start at 0 and I move 1, this is 1 pi over 2, 2 pi over 2, 3 pi over 2, and 4 pi over 2. And remember that I can simplify. Can I simplify 0? No. Pi over 2, I also cannot simplify. But this value, for example, of 2 pi over 2, I can simplify. The 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom will simplify. And instead of having 2 pi over 2, I'm just going to have pi. So this simplified down to pi. 3 pi over 2 stays the same. And then 4 pi over 2, what are 4 pi's divided by 2? If you have 4 pi's and you and a friend split them, you each have 2 pi, right? And so after doing my divisions of pi over 2, I'm able to see that these 4 quadrantal angles are 0, pi over 2, pi, and 3 pi over 2. And 0 and 2 pi share the same location. They are coterminal angles, okay? So those are the 4 most basic angles in the unit circle. Let's go ahead and generate the rest. So now we're going to create divisions of pi over 3. And you know, if you saw that video, that if I want to graph pi over 3, I need double the denominator. I need a total of 6 sections. And so I already did my divisions in green. And I have, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And before we begin, I'm going to copy my angles in blue from my previous problem. In the previous diagram, we had 0, pi over 2, pi, and 3 pi over 2. Now that I have filled in my angles from my divisions of pi over 2, we're now doing divisions of pi over 3. So here we go. Starting at 0, I'm going to do, this is 1 pi over 3, 2 pi over 3, this would be 3 pi over 3, 4 pi over 3, 5 pi over 3, and I end at 6 pi over 3. And now I have to go in and see, what can I simplify? Well, pi over 3, I'm not going to be able to simplify. 2 pi over 3 either. 3 pi over 3, if you notice, that simplifies to just pi, which I already have in here. Okay? Then 4 pi over 3 stays the same. 5 pi over 3 stays the same. And I know that my 6 pi over 3 would become 2 pi, which we also talked about in the last diagram as well. Okay, so those are the angles that are generated by having a divisions of pi over 3. And I'm going to copy all of these over onto my next diagram. Okay. So now that I have all of the angles from my previous diagram, I'm now going to be creating all the divisions of pi over 4. And we know that for pi over 4, I need a total of 8 sections. Okay, So it's kind of hard to see because it's getting really busy with all of the different colors. But if I were to trace all the orange, and you count the orange sections, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I know it's kind of busy, but I do have all 8 sections of the divisions of pi over 4. And now we're going to go ahead and fill some of these in. Okay, so starting at 0, my first section is pi over 4. Then I have 2 pi over 4, 3 pi over 4, I'm going to write in here. Then I have 4 pi over 4, 5 pi over 4, 6 pi over 4, 7 pi over 4, and 8 pi over 4. And let's see what we can simplify. Well, if you start to notice, these kind of like bubbles that were empty usually cannot be simplified. And the ones that are already full, simplified to the value inside. So 2 pi over 4, if I divide the top and the bottom by 2, I get my pi over 2 that I already have inside. So 2 pi over 4 is the same as pi over 2. 4 pi over 4 over here, the 4 and 4 just give me pi, which I already have inside. And then 6 pi over 4 simplifies to 3 pi over 2, which again, I also have inside. And lastly, 8 pi over 4, we know is going to simplify to 2 pi over. So I'm almost done. I can see that I have the majority of my angles of the unit circle. I'm just missing a few. And to get those last few, I need to graph all of my divisions of pi over 6. Okay, so let me quickly just fill in the angles from the previous diagram. So these are all the angles that I discovered in my other diagrams. And if I'm going to finally fill in divisions of pi over 6, I need a total of 12 sections. So my 12 sections would be these here. And I'm going to make these thick so you guys can really see the divisions. I know it looks messy, but I'm going to clean it up in a little bit. Just to show you proof of where all these divisions are coming from. Okay, and if I count these divisions starting at 0, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Total of 12 sections. Okay, so now that I have all 12 sections, we're going to go in and fill in all of our missing angles. So starting at 0, this is pi over 6, 2 pi over 6, 3 pi over 6, 4 pi over 6, 5 pi, oops, this one would go inside my circle, 6 pi over 6, 7 pi over 6, 8 pi over 6, 9 pi over 6, 10 pi over 6, 11 pi over 6, and then that would be 12 pi over 6. So a lot of repetition and simplification needs to happen here, right? 2 pi over 6 simplifies to pi over 3, which we already have. 3 pi over 6 simplifies to pi over 2, which we already have. 4 pi over 6 simplifies to 2 pi over 3. 6 pi over 6, those 6 crosses out and I get pi. 8 pi over 6 simplifies to 4 pi over 3. 9 pi over 6 simplifies to 3 pi over 2. 10 pi over 6 simplifies to 5 pi over 3. And lastly, 12 pi divided by 6 is 2 pi, which shares the same location as 0. And I can even put that in here. And so we can see that after doing all of the divisions and graphing pi over 4 multiple times, pi over 3 multiple times, pi over 2 multiple times, and lastly pi over 6 multiple times, I am able to get all of the angles in a unit circle. Now, I know we haven't gone over the coordinates yet, and we're going to in another video. So go ahead and just ignore all of these coordinates for now, okay? Ignore them. We're going to talk about them in another video. I'm only going to look at the inside of the unit circle. All of these angles we just created. 0, pi over 6, pi over 4, pi over 3, pi over 2. All of these angles in radians, I just showed you where they come from by doing the divisions over and over and over and simplifying everything. So again, in this video, we covered where do the angles of a unit circle come from. And in another video, I'm going to show you where all of the coordinates come from. All of these values outside of the circle that are different color rainbow colors. The coordinates I will show you in a later video. Today's focus was just to figure out where do all these angles inside with these pies come from. Thank you everyone so much for watching.